Experience tranquility.
And welcome, everyone. We are here for Feature Match Play Week 12 of Overwatch Tranquility Community. We have two teams coming back from 0-4 losses. We have Elusion taking on Harmony in Chaos. Should be a heck of a match. I am SkiFreeYeti, and joining me is fellow caster, fellow podcast member, and fellow dad, NPC. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm really excited for this match. I think this is great. I think Elusion and Harmony are both very capable teams, and they're both kind of in the same spot right now as far as like strength and their position in the rankings. And I feel like this is going to be a team where they're all fighting for what they've got, what they need. You know, they're fighting for it.
Mm-hmm. And they got to really bounce back. It's been a tough initial go here for the teams the past 2 weeks, and both teams really came off of easy schedules where they both took care of business. They took care of teams they were expected to beat, and their records show that right now. You have Harmony and Chaos coming in at 8-3, and you have Elusion at 7-4. Both teams playing quite well to this point, but obviously coming off that tough loss. Now they're both are kind of getting into the meat and potatoes of their schedules. When you look at these two teams, which of these two teams do you think has more potential to kind of show that that really wasn't a mirage or an illusion, I guess, if you want to be nice and punny about it?
An illusion. This match in particular, I'm not sure if this is going to be a strength or a weakness, but Elusion has all of their members here today. They've got a full stacked roster, and Harmony only has 7 players at the moment. So Harmony is going to be limited as far as their roster. They're going to be able to switch out, but their players playing all 4 matches may actually be a benefit because they'll be able to analyze and critique the strategy of Elusion and then adapt. Whereas Elusion is going to be rotating players around that, you know, once one player learns how to compensate for something, Harmony's doing, they're going to be switched out and they're going to have to spectate and watch the new guy.
Yeah, and with missing Steve Buscemi is certainly something that, you know, Steve's been a very game main tank for the whole season for that Harmony and Chaos side. However, just looking at that roster, typically we see in these situations, we see HandyFab step up to be that main tank. Now, for those of you who may or may not remember, HandyFab actually won the preseason play of, well, I guess the preseason earlier this year, when he basically had a 61 six-man shatter team kill on his own. So we know he's capable of being a very good main tank, and it'll be interesting to see how they kind of handle it. They still have that support line, Shadowfear and Cav, and I think that's a key thing for Harmony and Chaos to be successful. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. They also have Maxix back. Maxix was missing in our match, and honestly, I wish he would have been there. We really wanted to see Maxix in action.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see it. Everybody wants to see it, and so now we've actually got him back in the match, and this is going to be amazing because we're going to have Handifap and we're going to have Garbaggio on those tanks, and we're
Mm-hmm.
going to have Cav and Shadowfear on the supports, which means Danklub and Maxix can both equally play Sombra or any other DPS they need to play to get this taken care of. So I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a great match.
I would agree with that. And one thing I will say about Elusion as well, and one thing I've always appreciated about Elusion is, they have a lot of really talented players. Black Ninja, and Asura and Velo, all three of them, fantastic DPS. They're very good at what they do. But I will say that they don't have one single player that typically stands out. Like, if I'm looking for an all-star on this team, I don't see an all-star. But what I do see is a team that plays extremely well together. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I've said it before. I've said it a million times that teamwork is going to beat individual skill every time in these games, especially in Plat and in the Tranquility League. And the team that plays together wins together. And if you got one player that's trying to put the whole team on his back, he's just not going to work out.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of want to give one last really quick thing here while they're getting ready. They're actually starting on Paris today. Predictions. For me personally, if I'm looking at this match, I do think Harmony and Chaos will rebound with a close win here. I said 3-2 on the podcast, and I'm sticking right now with that 3-2. I don't know what you're thinking. I know you previously had picked Harmony and Chaos as well, correct?
I did. I picked Harmony and Chaos, but I also picked it 3-2. This was the game where I think all four of us were basically flipping a coin here. We were thinking it was going to be a 99-99 on that final control map. And it probably will. These two CPs, I see it going all the way, possibly even to a round 5 or round 6.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be impressive to watch both these teams. They're really looking to rebound. I'm very excited to watch this. And I'm also excited to see Paris. We haven't had an opportunity to see Paris yet in a feature stream, in this kind of a feature match here. And I'm excited to show off what Paris is like for the viewers here, and how these teams are, or what these teams are doing for strategies. Looking at Elusion starting off on defense, I see them running looks like a kind of a bunker strategy. Actually, they're running just a bunker strategy with the Diva and the Orisa, and on the side of Harmony and Chaos, we see them running looks like a Wrecking Ball dive.
Yeah, very hyper dive. It looks like they're doing a bunker strat, but they don't have any sort of turret. But it looks like they're using that Wrecking Ball speed to their advantage to come back, to pull some people back to the point and make that a 5v6 up front.
Does work out okay. Looks like Handifap got DMEC early, and Cav did take some damage. He took the grenade, and he went low, but he did not fall. And right now they are putting some contests on the point.
Maxix managed to draw them back to the point. This is actually looking really good for Harmony. They're trying to make some good pushes here.
Jewish Missile did go down. That could really hurt the side of Elusion. They have a lot of people dipping low here. Black Ninja goes down. Looks like Nick's about to get DMEC as well. And right now we're...
Oh, Asura tire coming in.
Could be a big tire. He needs a really big one to turn it around, and unfortunately it just wasn't big enough. And it looks like this might have been a lost fight when he took that tire, and might have been a little bit of aggressive. I'm not sure if that was what he was looking for. Absolutely.
Handifap did a great job of not falling off the map there. He got DMEC'd right on the ledge and managed to stay in the game, and that was critical. He probably should have jumped off just to get his mech back here, because the spawn is close, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and push anyway and try to get the mech back the old-fashioned way.
Now, if I'm looking at alts here, we see a couple of support alts coming up for Elusion. We have the Mines coming for Garbaggio on the Wrecking Ball, and we have Dank with that Blade. That could be a big game changer here, and he goes in with it.
Going with the Mines, he's purple, but he's still taking some swings.
Unfortunately, he's not able to connect with anything. The sound barrier comes in from Cav, Sweet Tooth goes down, the EMP comes in from Maxix, and that's going to do a debilitating amount of damage to the side of Elusion here. They do bring out Bob, though. Bob is hacked, and we see the bomb coming in from Handifab. Handifab could be, and nothing doing there. Black Ninja does take out Cav. That could actually be pretty critical here in flipping this back to the direction of Elusion here, trying to stagger it out.
Yes, Elusion looks like they've made some switches to some faster characters to get back a little bit faster, but Harmony's already got 2 ticks and almost the last, so I think they're going to have to reset here, but I think this is very winnable. Like I said, this Paris map, I think it's going to go all the way at least once.
Yeah, that was a really late pick there. Jewish Missile goes down, probably way too aggressive, and it looks like Harmony is trying to punish that immediately here. You see a Diva Bomb that actually might be good enough to scramble the team. Shadowfear goes down. That's a very big pick. Probably going to force a reset.
These are some big staggers here. They've staggered the Winston, who has switched over onto Wrecking Ball. Garbaggio is now on Ball, which is going to give him a little bit more speed.
One thing I'm noticing here is, again, they're pushing up very aggressively. Jewish Missile goes down again, and he had the Primal Rage. He did not need to go down there, but he elected to take the death, and it looks like Harmony is going to try to push in and take advantage of that late kill there. And we do see
Harmony's going to drop some mines. There they are.
Big Diva Bomb coming in. Great positioning. Ooh, Lemon Ghoul just barely avoids that.
That was some excellent positioning to avoid that. Oh, the new High Noon came out. Took care of Wrecking Ball.
Looks like Elusion's going to stabilize here. Ooh, and Asura may be unnecessary ult, but at the same time, it did get the job done, and really, that's all you can ask for sometimes. Good 3K.
Sometimes you just have to use that extra ult to secure the fight. That was something that Elusion has struggled with in the past.
Mm-hmm. And Elusion right now only has one ult, and it's the Valkyrie, which is going to be helpful, but it's not really fight changing. So I'm worried about how they can handle that. And right now I do see Danklub. He has that blade again, and he's a very dangerous. And Maxix on the EMP as well. EMP blade here could end it very easily.
Yep, Maxix is getting into position, and there it is.
You see 4 taken out with that, and a blade takes out Lemon Ghoul immediately. But ooh, turn around with double kill out of the supports.
Yeah, they left Cavalier very unprotected on the point, and that was what allowed Elusion to go ahead and finish this fight, not allow any progress to be made.
Huge credit to both Black Ninja and Asura there on taking out the supports. They recognized that the dive was coming in over the top onto their back line, and rather than try to chase down Danklub, who's now switched over to the McCree, they elected to instead go after Cav and Shadow and took them out almost immediately.
Absolutely. You have to dive those supports, and once the supports are down, nobody else can stay alive.
Now, what are you seeing right now? We see the change to Danklub changing off that Genji. What do you think that's a wise move given what you're seeing right now?
I think so. With the Mercy having Valkyrie, you're going to need a hit scan to get her out of the sky, and the stun is going to be critical if he can pull it off. There it is.
There was a massive kill from Danklub on the Black Ninja, who had the ultimate. Black Ninja did get res though. Missed High Noon does not connect though.
And here comes double Diva Bombs.
It's good enough to connect onto Nixall to get steam back and then get killed. Sweet Tooth trying to stabilize right now with that ult, and we see Moth floating up above the point as well on the side of Elusion. Ooh, Asura with a big ult again.
Again, stopping that. I thought for sure Garbaggio was going to spin it to win it around that statue and just knock everybody off point for that last, what, 1.3%.
And Asura has appeared on the top 5 plays before on that Reaper. Definitely a very skilled Reaper in general. We see him doing quite well, quite frequently on that character, and it shows there. He turned around that fight that was looking very much in the Harmony and Chaos's favor. Right now they got 98.7%, but they do have 2 ults compared to the Elusion side, which has none, and the only ult they have is Primal.
Yeah, they do have an Ana ult, but I'm not sure exactly who you would nano in a situation like this. Possibly Hammond or maybe Diva just for the stall and the damage debuff, but... Okay, here comes all the ultimates.
Popping everything here. Nixall gets an early D-Mech. The sound barrier...
Nano Sombra.
High Noon from Danklub takes out Asura, and Handifab takes out Jewish Missile, but Sweet Tooth is popping off on the Moira. That's gonna took out both supports, or both DPS from the side of Harmony Chaos.
Oh, perfectly placed mines from Garbaggio to take out that Mercy.
Garbaggio is really trying to pop off on Black Ninja here, but Black Ninja is getting a little bit of healing and is able to hang on.
Yep, he forced everybody back to the front of the point, hoping that his respawns would be able to come in and take care of them, but wasn't quite fast enough.
Elusion's done a great job at turning around fights. They've not given up on any of these, and they're doing a really good job at closing out on their supports when fight seems lost. Even if they are going to lose that specific engagement, or it's going to kind of end up being a draw, they're taking out the supports from the Harmony and Chaos side, and that's making it a lot more achievable. We do see Baptiste coming in from the side of Harmony and Chaos. The first time we see Baptiste this season, and the Immortality Field is down and taken out by Jewish missiles.
The high noon, here comes.
Black Ninja takes out Baptiste, and really right now,
EMP bomb. This might do it.
D-Mech onto Nixal and Sweet Tooth goes down. The Jewish missile gets Stand Club, and that could be big, along with the res on the Black Ninja.
The res on Black Ninja. I don't think this fight is winnable for Harmony.
Yeah, it looks like Harmony here is going to have to settle for just under the full cap on point 2. We see Garbaggio trying to stabilize a little bit onto the point, use those mines to cause some havoc, but really it just ain't happening. And I just think Harmony and Chaos let some opportunities go, and Elusion didn't give up on the fights. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm not sure what Shadow Fear was doing switching to Baptiste, but I think the Immortality Field, it didn't really help them because he used it at the beginning of the fight, and I think he should have saved it until they were all fairly low.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were trying to necessarily get done with that. It seemed like maybe it was just nerves, maybe it was just, maybe it's just something they haven't had a full opportunity to get a lot of practice behind, and they just kind of launched it out. Perhaps they even thought they were using the other ability there, the AoE heal that Baptiste does have. So it could have just been as simple as a fat finger, who knows? But I can't imagine that was the goal when they switched over to that character, to use that at that exact specific time.
Yeah, I think switching to Baptiste is a good counter for a Diva Bomb, especially when you're in a situation where you have a Hammond and a Diva. You don't really have a shield or a shield tank to take that damage and protect your team. So the Baptiste ability, it's not even an ultimate, but it can save your team from a Diva Bomb, and then that AoE healing can very quickly get your team back up and going.
Now, are you expecting to see anything specific from either of these teams here? We do see actually another Orisa comp coming out for point 1 on the side of Harmony and Chaos, with Garbaggio on that main tank on that Orisa, with Maxix bringing out the Torbjorn.
I was about to say the same thing. I would expect a defense to run at least a turret of some kind. I've played Paris quite a bit, and I see a lot of actually Symmetra on this map, and I see a lot of Torbjorn and or Bastion. Especially for this first one.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they might be anticipating a dive here from Jewish Missile, and that's probably a big part of why that Torbjorn is in here, as well as the Reaper. The Reaper's going to be really effective at a counter dive. I would actually like to see them maybe setting up a little bit further back, perhaps, maybe back on the far back right balcony there. But I'm not really sure what. It could work out just fine for them. I don't like this position sometimes for a bunker, but that's just my 2 cents.
You want to push up that high to prevent them from going left into the police station and then getting hurt.
Yeah, I can see that as well.
You got to position there right away just to kind of see where they're going, and they are going to the police station. Diva and Ana have gone in, but it looks like Black Ninja's been taken down and Jewish Missile too.
Looks like Nixal did pick up a couple of big kills on the support line for Harmony and Chaos, and that could be enough actually to get them able to get to that point. It's a very long walk from the spawn here.
It does. Maxix with the hammer kill.
That's just insult upon insult to injury there.
I thought that trading 1v1 here was going to win this for Elusion, but it looks like Harmony managed to hold on.
And right now the supports are on the way back from the side of Harmony and Chaos here. We see Shadow Fear kind of lumbering back over on that Ana, and it looks like Cav's already back on the Lucio. So Nixal was taken down late with a really brutal stagger. And we do see several ults coming online right now for Harmony and Chaos, and a few ults coming down the pipe too for Elusion as well. It's going to kind of be coming down to who gets the better ult economy here.
Yeah, it looks like Black Ninja is trying to out Maxix on the Sombra and get behind them to draw them back off the backside of the point.
Now we're not seeing a Blade. It looks like it's charging really slow right now for us. Asura does get a nice takedown on that turret here. That's going to free up a little bit of their supports a little bit. The Molten Core coming in for Maxix.
Absolutely, that Maxix, that Molten Core takes down a support, which is going to end the fight for them real quickly.
I can't imagine that was what Black Ninja was trying to do with that EMP.
I
That
think
was
Black Ninja's going to switch. I
I do.
think
I would tend to hope so. That was they were down 6v3 there, and we do see a switch, so it makes a little bit more sense. But right now, the ult economy, I would have to say, definitely is favoring Harmony and Chaos. I do like that sound barrier. They have double support ult, and they do have a Death Blossom. They do have a blade on the side of Elusion here, so it's nothing to sneeze at necessarily. But I feel like Harmony and Chaos has an advantage right now.
absolutely. Elusion has a beat drop and a Diva Bomb. The Diva Bomb is in perfect position, but it doesn't get anyone. Managed to back up into the police station.
The blade comes in from Asura. Asura's not able to connect, and you see a Death Blossom from Dankla, but that only gets the Ana. It's basically a solo ult there, but that's actually probably a very good ult. Ooh, and over the top comes the Diva Bomb. Great bomb from Handifap, actually, taking out Black Ninja. And it does look like Harmony is going to secure this one pretty handily. Cavalier was taken down, but it doesn't look like that anything else was able to really happen on the side of Elusion. Elusion seems to be struggling and really getting those ultimates to come together here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I thought that they had it when they picked that support with that solo Death Blossom, and Jewish Missile charged in to get them to all come back to the point, but it looked like they just weren't organized enough to regroup.
Yeah, the blade on the side of Elusion just did not connect with anything. That's a big missed opportunity for Elusion. They needed that blade to actually get a kill.
Elusion's now gone to triple support.
Yeah, it was kind of a Protect the President comp with the Reaper. Ooh, Nano Torb coming in. Maxix takes out Black Ninja. That's huge.
When you have a team comp like this, you're not exactly sure who to nano, so you always just give it to a DPS, because you don't have a Rhine or a DPS tank to nano.
And really, is there a better DPS than Torbjorn?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Just Harmony and Chaos right now is just kind of sweeping up the leftovers, it looks like, in the full hold from Harmony. Well done, Harmony and Chaos. Great defense from them.
That was amazing. Yeah, the Orisa ult didn't come out until the very, very end there. That was a great round. Harmony really, really, got their act together and are really playing together this week.
Yeah, they keyed in, or they queued off each other's ultimates really well, and I think the key to that, honestly, was the fact that it seemed like the team play in general was way stronger on the side of Harmony and Chaos than it was on Elusion side. It seemed like there was just a lot of struggles from Asura and from Black Ninja and really closing out kills, and it hurt their team very badly. And there's some rough staggers on the side for their tanks, and it just wasn't coming together for them, unfortunately. So we'll see if Elusion can bounce back. 1 point is certainly not an insurmountable deficit. They're definitely capable of coming back.
Absolutely, absolutely. They have a very deep roster today. I've said that before, and I think we're going to see some switches coming up, and I think we're going to see Elusion put forth a different effort. I think we're going to see a totally different team.
So right now, both teams are going to spend some time getting chatting amongst each other, trying to figure out where to go next. And it looks like Numbani is going to be our next map here, picked by Harmony and Chaos. And Numbani is an interesting map. A lot of teams tend to run a lot of dive on offense, and we do see, at the same time we saw goats when the goats meta was going on, but lately we're seeing kind of a bunker comp taking over a lot on defense. And I'm curious to see what you think. What's your preferred strategies on Numbani? If you don't mind revealing it, I know you have a match.
Well, my personal preference is, of course, dive on the first point, and then something that my team and most teams struggle with is switching back once we've capped that point. The spawn is right there. Just go in and switch, throw your ultimate away. I know I mentioned this on the podcast that you guys did that. Once it switches to the payload phase, you may want to switch to something else. And definitely once you capture point 2, dive just doesn't work because of the angles.
Absolutely. And I think, when I look at one nice thing about this map for me is that the DPS pools are pretty large for this map. You can really get away with anything. High ground control is critical on this. Point 1, obviously controlling both sides of the high ground. Maintaining a presence there is absolutely critical. A lot of teams like to run an Ana on this map as well, and having an Ana being able to stay secure and safe on that high ground is really critical as well. I've seen Ashe here. I've seen Pharah. I've seen Widow. I've seen Hanzo. I mean, the sky's the limit, I feel like, for what people can play on this map successfully.
Absolutely, I've seen some pretty crazy things happen on this map. One of the things you have to do, though, as a team, you have to decide which of you is going to drop down to contest when you need it, and let everyone else stay high ground. Because if you try that bunker comp And then as soon as a Tracer or a Somber or somebody gets on that low ground, you can't have the entire team drop down there, because then you've just wasted your whole comp and you're going to basically throw and feed at that point. So you have to pick someone like Diva or Winston who can drop down, do a little bit of damage, chase them off, and then jump back up to their team for some healing.
It really tests your communication. It tests your team communication to be able to get those rotations down well, especially when you're running that bunker comp. It certainly rewards the team. That I feel like this is one of those maps that best rewards high-end team play. We see a lot of substitutions coming in from the side of Elusion right now. We see Black Ninja taking a seat here. And I think that's I don't necessarily know if that's a surprising change, but we also see Jewish Missile coming out here. We see Nixal coming out, and we see Lemon Ghoul coming out. We're seeing Black 96. We see John W. Booth. We see Velo and Memorex coming in. So huge changes coming from the side of Elusion. And on the side of Harmony and Chaos, only one change. We see Cavalier taking a backseat to Race FPV. Are you surprised by anything you're seeing here with knowing the hero pools for each of those teams?
Not really. I totally called it earlier when I said that we're going to see a totally different Elusion team, and we basically are. They switched almost all their team. The only ones that stay are Asura and Sweet Tooth, and I feel like that's just the dive that they're going to take needs those particular heroes.
We're seeing interesting comps coming from both teams here. On defense, we see a Ryan Zarya comp coming from the side of Elusion. They have a Torbjorn and a McCree coming with that. I have to wonder if maybe they're expecting some sort of high ground or some sort of dive or some sort of high ground or some sort of trying to hold like a high ground defense here and counter the impending dive. But then you see on the side of Harmony and Chaos, they're not running a dive. They're running a Ryan Zarya comp, but they're only running an Ana and then a Brig on the support. And I found that to be interesting given the comp that they're running. How do you feel about that as Brig as a second support here?
That is very interesting, especially because none of their heroes, with the exception of Doomfist, none of their heroes can really heal themselves. But it looks like Maxix and Danklub are taking the high ground around the right, and they're trying to make some sort of pincer maneuver.
And they actually got out of position here, and Sweet Tooth does go down. That's a really brutal kill for Harmony or for Elusion. And right now, all Harmony has lost is Handicap, and just an absolute steamroll by Harmony and Chaos there.
Absolutely. I feel like Elusion picked the wrong high ground. They shouldn't have taken that one. They should have taken the one at the back of the point above the whiskey billboard there.
I have to agree with that. I feel like they missed an opportunity to kind of take advantage of a lack of healing on the side of Harmony and Chaos. They could have done a comp where they applied just a lot more high ground pressure. Instead, they just got overwhelmed. And the bruisery nature of that Harmony and Chaos comp just took them out.
Absolutely. They had no way of knowing what Harmony and Chaos was going to pull out, but the big benefit of Harmony playing this particular comp is that they don't actually have to switch here for the Streets phase, which means their ultimate economy isn't reset, which means Maxix has an ult, there it is, the Bob, and we have a nano boost, which she can give to Bob.
We saw there, we did see a great sleep from Sweet Tooth on the Dank Club that took him down, but now we just see Harmony and Chaos continuing this really strong pace setting, and right now, they're just consistently staggered on the side of Elusion. Elusion having the full regroup back at spawn. That's pretty much going to be bringing point 2 almost completely into Harmony and Chaos' hands.
Yeah, we have Handicap and Garbaggio basically spawn camping up here by themselves, and Shadowfear finally getting the position to heal them.
Garbaggio was taken extremely low, but now they do get maybe a wasted shatter there from Handicap, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter because that grab from Garbaggio was absolutely massive, and they take out 3, maybe 4 now on the side of Elusion.
Yeah, it looks like they're staggering the supports out here. If they can pick 1 or 2 before the rest come out from spawn, they'll be in really good shape.
Memorex did a great job of shuffling around between sides, staying away from Dank. And we see a really aggressive play from the side of Elusion, and the Grab Dragon combo does take out 2. And right now they do have 3 supports, so they do have 3 ults, so they could choose to use another one to stabilize, but Velo with a 3K. And right now, Shadowfear and Dank just decide to take it their own way.
Oh, that was a great decision for them to jump off the map. I feel like that was a big brain thing because They want to reset. They want to group back up with their team. They're just one DPS and one support. They're not gonna win that 2v6.
And no more ult charge, most importantly for the side of Harmony.
Absolutely.
So right now we're watching Black 96 here. He does have that ultimate. The shatter is going to need to be huge. The question is can he outsmart Handicap here and get a good shatter off? He's put to sleep. Oh, they nano him while
he's got that nano boost. There comes the block.
Handicap with a great job, but it didn't matter. Black 96 took the matters into his own hands with the charge. And then Race goes down as well with the Flame Strike. 4K for Elusion, and Harmony is going to have to reset.
Absolutely. Looks like Danklub's up on the Tracer, taking the high ground. Going to try to flank behind them and get them to turn around. There was a lot of ultimates on behalf of Elusion. They used a Mercy and an Ana. Their Mercy has now switched over to Lucio.
I like that.
A little bit more.
I like that change. I like that change a lot. I don't really care for Mercy in general right now. Ooh, and a good play there. Blocking that dynamite from Black 96, but he's dipping really low. Great block, though. Onto that shatter. Right now we see a grab coming in from Harmony and Cass. It doesn't look like... Ooh, there's the follow-up right there.
There it is. And the Bob is going to protect him.
We'll see if Sweet Tooth gets staggered out here. If Sweet Tooth gets staggered, he can pretty much kiss any chance for Elusion to reset goodbye. But they do have a Death Blossom coming out here. It's a matter of whether or not they can get to the point. Can they get to the point? They do, just barely. Black 96 did go down, though. Ooh, and a big dragon could be enough.
Memorex was purple and won for the longest time, but managed to dance around and stay alive. And they still haven't used that Death Blossom. I think he should have used it there.
There it is, right there. Ooh, good play from Masura, but he does get taken down by Garbaggio. Garbaggio is trying to take them all out by his own. He hasn't fully reset yet.
Respawns are coming back. He's got to back out now.
He's dipping really low. He's going to lose all that energy he got.
And that was a late kill on Garbaggio, which is going to reset Harmony a little bit further.
And he lost all that energy. We had one big glowing Zarya there, and then it's just all gone in one fell swoop. They still have 2 minutes, 53 seconds, though, so they're certainly not in a situation where they need to panic yet.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, with more than 2 minutes, they've got at least 4 to 5 more team fights and a whole nother round of ultimates if they need it after this. So yeah. Handicap's coming in with a shatter, and Garbaggio has a grab. Let's see if they don't move them at the same time now.
Shatters from both sides. Black 96 gets blocked, and we see the grab. Very well done here from Garbaggio. And then the shatter takes out several. Here comes the Diva Bomb. Next with nothing, though. But the follow-up. Where was the follow-up from Harmony and Cass? Oh, I don't like that Bob.
Bob has been slept. I feel like Maxix might want to switch here. I think maybe he just threw it out to throw it. We're going to see what happens, but it doesn't look like he's... Doesn't look like he's going back.
And Dank and Shadow go down here, and Maxic is not resetting, so I think that was just maybe just not good communication on the side of Harmony and Cass led to that decision. So right now we see both teams, they're making some interesting choices here with the ult economy, and I think that's hurting both of them. We've seen Shatters kind of lumped into grabs, we've seen some Shatters right into shields, and we saw that Bob there. There's been a lot of questions, I think, with regards to the ult economy from both teams. It'll be interesting to see how they recover.
As well as that Grab Dragons worked before, they switched off of the Zarya.
We see
Elusion gone to a Rhine.
The Dragon came in from Velo, but no follow-up. Asura did get a pick up onto Handicap, but now we're seeing multiple people fall on the side of Harmony, and Danklub did fall with that ult, so we see 3 ults now. Going to be 4 ults on the side of Harmony and Cass. You have to think they have a significant advantage going into the last fight here, but there are 2 support ults still on the side of Elusion. So by no means are they in a situation where they need to panic as well.
Yeah, with Harmony having 2 support ults and 2 DPS ults and an Earth Shatter coming up at the end of the fight, I think this is Harmony's to lose. They just need to do it.
Ooh, a big sleep there, and Bob is in, putting pressure on the Elusion now, but Asura goes down. Oh, huge
that
shatter!
Was a huge shatter.
Black 96, best shatter of the day for him for sure. And a big
Handicap came back with a counter shatter. Neither team really suffering here.
Seeing some trades. Interesting grab with no follow-up here on the side of Harmony and Chaos. I feel like they had one opportunity there to reset and maybe not burn that grab. I don't know, maybe he's going to switch to that Wrecking Ball again.
Nope.
And right now, I think they're just, I don't think that's what they had to be looking for with that grab. And we see 3 ults, going to be 4 ults on the side of Elusion. Elusion with an early dragon.
We're throwing out that zoning dragon, trying to get them to split from each other. I like that call. It just wasn't followed up on. Oh, Asura with the huge Death Blossom there.
Just doesn't look like there's enough follow-up on the side of Harmony and Chaos to be able to take down this fight, and it's not. Nice sleep from Sweet Tooth to finish it off, and unfortunately, nothing else here from Harmony and Chaos. They did get a great push onto it, but everything just went cold for them.
Absolutely. Even though the cart is all the way back there, they did get it to almost the entire distance. So they've really only got to push it all the way to actually make this win. So this is very holdable for Harmony.
Absolutely.
But with the way that Elusion were managing their ultimates, I really think this is Elusion's fight to win.
Absolutely.
I would tie up the series.
Elusion looked very strong here on that hold. Once they got settled back in, it seemed like their ult economy got better, and it seemed like, honestly, the play of Black 96 was very strong there at the end of the match, and he really did a good job. It was a 5-minute hold on that last point, and that was insane. One other person I think deserves a lot of credit on the side of Elusion is Sweet Tooth. There were multiple sleeps that were absolutely clutch to take out really any sort of threat from the Harmony and Chaos side. So really good job from Harmony and Chaos to get it to where they did, but Elusion, the 5-minute hold when all seemed lost, it's, I don't know, you have to wonder if maybe that might be affecting the psyche of Harmony and Chaos. When you have 5 minutes to push this cart just a couple more meters, you gotta think that's gotta play in your mental state a little bit.
Oh, it does. It does. It puts a lot of players into that garbage time mentality I was referring to on the podcast. Once you get it to 99%, you think, oh, GG easy, and you're not really, as much as you want to say you're giving it 100%, you're really not. And it's a psychological battle with yourself at this point. What I like here is that we're seeing Harmony. Shadowfear has pulled out the Baptiste one more time.
And not giving up on that Baptiste. I do like Baptiste in general. I feel like he pairs really well with Mercy. At the same time, I just don't know enough about what he brings to the table with regards to a lot of comps. We'll see how he kind of fits into the meta as things develop here over the coming weeks.
They do have a really good split hold defense here. They've got their tanks over on one side with one support and 2 DPS on the other side with another support.
But their peel right now, they have a really tough time peeling with this comp. They have no high ground ability between their 2 supports, and they paid for it.
Velo on that Hanzo is popping off. They need to get rid of that, the invulnerability thing, and this is their fight.
I agree. Velo did an amazing job there, closing out on the squishies for Harmony Cast. And again, just Velo absolutely clutch here on every single shot, it seemed. Velo already charged up a dragon, or very close to charging up that dragon. And I have to say, what Elusion did really well there, they're running that dive. They identified, okay, which of the sides is most vulnerable. Rather than dive the 2 tanks, they dove on the side with the Torbjorn and the Baptiste, and they took them out quickly. There was no coming back from that for the side of Elusion, or for the side of Harmony and Chaos.
Yeah, and it looks like Maxix is upstairs trying to get behind them, trying to figure out exactly when the best time to attack is. I think they're going to let the payload push around to this statue and then make the engagement.
Now we do see the switch over to the Rhine for side. Ooh, and Garbaggio with a great kill. Handicap took advantage, but it goes down from Asura. Asura with a nice kill. And you see a dragon coming in, putting a lot of pressure on inside of Harmony and Chaos, but they do manage to recover. Memorex dips very low as well, but he does hang on. He does have that sound barrier to pull out here to help break this bit of a stalemate we're seeing. And we see that ult coming in from inside of Baptiste.
See if they can put any damage through it.
Look at them all lining up behind that. Dankla putting the bullets through there is just terrifying, especially when you're far up in the sky and vulnerable like that. You gotta think that's as scary as it can be. Oh wow! That was a really good play there from Harmony Chaos to shut down Asura on that ult. They had a great opportunity to get an ult off there. It just didn't really pan out, and Harmony Chaos is stabilizing.
I'm as surprised as you are. I thought that was going to be the end of it. That was going to be all she wrote, as they say.
I was about to call that fight for Elusion, and I kind of caught myself all of a sudden. Like, wait a minute. Harmony and Chaos did a really good job there of picking the scraps back up. Garbaggio had a nice little grab there that kind of tied that all back together. And now we see 3 ults on the side of Elusion. So they have to string those together well. Grab Dragon. And there it is, the Grab Dragon. The Dragon didn't connect with anything. It was all just Asura, pretty much, it seemed like. Velo does pick up one with a Storm Arrow onto Garbaggio, and right now they're pushing the side of Harmony and Chaos all the way back to point C. They have one riding the cart right now. Be interesting to see if they can stagger out anybody here. They're really pushing it. They do take out Dank Club. Handifap with
another block shatter.
I don't know if that was a good idea there for Handifap. Maybe getting a little bit ahead of himself. Oh, and another shatter that I don't know. Like, these shatters are I feel like they're just not. I feel like they're not getting full value out of their ultimates right now. But that being said, Elusion just let the cart sit there. They missed an opportunity. They finally get back to the cart. Harmony Chaos almost caught that back up. Maxix was making a run to the cart, but just wasn't enough. Asura managed to take him down, and a little BM on the cart as well from Asura. Looking at the ults economy right now, we see 4 ults about to come fully online from the side of Elusion, with 3 on Harmony and Chaos side, 1 being the Valkyrie, Death Blossom, and we also see that Baptiste ult again on the side of Harmony as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see somebody do something with that Baptiste ultimate. I think they're going to save it for a McCree. Here we go, and then they're going to fire through it.
And Maxix with the 4K. Absolutely massive for Maxix, getting Max 6 value out of that ultimate.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry.
Maxix carried the team on his back 6.
Oh, do we have any more? Guys, this is what you're in for.
I'm saving them up. I'm spreading them out.
This is what you guys are in for the rest of the night. Best of luck to you all. No ults right now on the side of Harmony, though. That could be very painful. They have 5 from Elusion.
Oh, the invulnerability field. Oh, but it got taken out.
Velo does take out several with that ult combo with the grab, and Dank does take out Velo. That is going to slow them down just a little bit on this push, as they won't have They won't have one of their DPS here to be able to shut down the stagger, so they could stagger onto the point here on the side of Harmony Cast. They don't need to panic quite yet.
Shadow Fear was staggered there at the end. It looks like he's staying on the Baptiste. He's committing to that Baptiste. I would have gone to the Lucio at this point to get back to my team a little faster for sustain, but
we saw Dank Club there pop his ult, but he wasn't able to get any value from it. And right now, Elusion is absolutely popping off, taking out everybody on the side of Harmony and Chaos. John W. Booth there picks up multiple kills, and there it is.
Looks like Elusion managed to tie up the series very handily. This is the match I was looking forward to. We're gonna end up seeing it go back and forth like this all night.
I'm excited to see what both these teams continue to bring to the table tonight. They're both doing an outstanding job here, stabilizing really well on these points. I have to give a ton of credit to Elusion here. Things looked very bad for them after the way the first map went, after the way the first couple points here. It looked like it might have been a long night for them, but something happened and they rallied together and they pulled off that 5-minute hold, and then really convincingly they took care of Harmony Chaos on this last point. So we're coming in 1-1 here, guys. It's going to be a heck of a match moving forward.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what these teams have in store. I'm just Illusion's going to mix it up again. I think we're going to see some substitutions on Illusion's side, and we may or may not see one substitution on the Harmony side. But these teams are just so close and so evenly matched. I can't wait to see what map we're doing next.
I'm excited. It's been going really well for both teams here. I do have to say, I think, I like Cavalier's Lucio quite a bit, and I feel like maybe missing his Lucio was hurting the team. And not necessarily a slight on race, but I think Cav on that Lucio is just a really good thing to have in general on this point. It makes on Numbani just that speed boost, also helps control the high ground a little bit better. But anyways, it looks like we're going to be taking just a quick 5-minute halftime here instead of our usual 10. And I believe we're going to take a break on the stream here as well. Yes, we are. So
okay, we'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back momentarily. Now I'm so hungry.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the match. This has been an amazing match so far. I'm glad we only had a 5-minute halftime because I'm excited to get back into it. And when we left off,
we had a 5-minute halftime because all this food talk just made me hungry. But anyways, let's be honest.
we were talking Turkish food and gyros and hot dogs in Chicago, which I am super excited for, by the way.
Why are you gonna do this to me? Anyways, you were talking actually a little bit over the break about the last match and Cavs sitting out. You had kind of an interesting point that I think was really important to bring up.
Yeah, I do. So because their roster is only 7 people tonight, they expect it to go to map 5. And Cavaliers' Lucio is so strong. I feel like they pulled him out for that map to give other people a chance to play because they are going to need Cavalier on the 2 control maps that they play because they're going to play Dorado next. But then after that, they've got both control maps still left to play at the very, very end. And Cavalier is going to be critical in those matches.
I would agree. I think Shadow Fear in general is really strong on that Ana as well, and I think you got to keep him in for a map like Dorado as well, because Ana is really, really good on this map because there's so many long sight lines they can really benefit from on both offense and defense. So I think it's a wise choice to have this support line for them. We saw on the side of Elusion, we actually see no changes from their previous setup. So I have to imagine they're going to do a complete roster switch for map 4.
Yeah, it seems like they have one roster that's for payload and hybrid, and one that's for 2CP and control. Mm-hmm. That would be my guess here is that they've kind of specialized their team with a full roster.
Well, it seems to have been working for them this season. They're 7-4 at this point, and hanging on to a very even match. 2 very good teams here, putting on a good show for our viewers, and it's exciting to see what they're doing right now. I look forward to what we're going to see in these last 2, and I'm predicting 3 matches. I still think that 5 is not only plausible or possible, but like right now, looking at the 2 comps here, I see on the side of Elusion, we see that Orisa again. How do you feel about Orisa on this point here, on defense?
For the very first point, I like Orisa a lot. You can put your shield down and shield your team here, but then you can also kind of rotate while your shield is being broken, which allows your slower, low mobility heroes like Orisa to get into a new position while still shielding your low HP heroes.
Speaking of interesting tank choices on the side of Harmony Cast, ooh, that was an excellent boop, taking off the high ground on Maxix. They have no high ground control anymore. Handicap is looking to close in really quick and take out Sweet Tooth, but it doesn't look like they're able to finish anybody off.
Looks like Maxix is applying the pressure from the top, but Day Club with a huge jump with Doomfist, but he didn't quite make it. He got in there by himself.
And it looks like Garbaggio also fell early there, and Handicap is dipping extremely low. Nobody's falling on the side of Elusion. They're doing a good job restabilizing, and Dank's actually switching off.
Absolutely, yes. It is an interesting tank choice here with the Hammond and the Winston. Technically, both main tanks, but I feel like the shield is going to be really important.
Oh, huge purple from Harmony of Chaos from Shadow Fear. We've seen that before, and we see it again. Dank Club closes out a kill on Asura, but Handicap goes down as well to Black 96. But Shadow Fear closing out a few more kills. Shadow Fear coming up clutch on this point, and Harmony of Chaos is there to pick up all the pieces.
Absolutely. I think they're going to have this point. I don't think anybody's close enough to contest.
Looks like Maxix is trying to finish charging up that barrage, and he does. Looking at the 2 sides here, we have 4 ults coming online for Harmony and Chaos, and we're going to see, looks like 2, probably 3 for the next fight. Actually 4, I suppose. 4. From Elusion here. So even ult economy at the current moment. See if Maxix did go down there, though. That's it's an interesting situation. He'll get a good early respawn, but I have to feel like that bit of a mistake here for Maxix getting out that far.
Garbaggio getting stunned and taken out there.
Oh,
that bomb is huge.
John Wilkes Booth assassinating the enemy team. Yeah, and huge play there. We did see the Lucio coming in from Cav and just nothing developing off it. That was a pretty painful fight for Harmony and Chaos there. And John Wilkes Booth with a huge ultimate. I was a little surprised. It didn't really combo with anything, but it still took down 2. It's just really well placed.
Yeah, it was very well placed. They were on either side of that wall so that Cavaliers Shield's ultimate thing could it only protected 2 of them, and the other 2 are on the other side of the wall outside of line of sight.
Black 96 coming here with the nano, takes out Shadow Fear. Right now, Harmony and Chaos is doing, Elusion is doing a great job closing out some kills on their squishies. But Garbaggio takes out Velo, and that could be a big pick.
The defense matrix was huge. John W. Booth got almost all of that rocket barrage, and he didn't get a single person.
They got limited value, but they did get cart push, and they're continuing to get cart push here. But we're seeing Sweet Tooth is basically having free uncontested rain here to shoot down and support his team, and he actually takes out. He's instrumental in taking out several of the members of Harmony and Chaos there. Good job from Sweet Tooth. Great positioning there. He set himself up in a situation where he just had kind of free reign to constantly be healing his team.
Yeah, with John Booth on the D.Va and Velo on the McCree, I was not surprised at all to see Maxix switch over to the Reaper to try to take care of the monkey from Black 96.
John W. Booth got his ult or his mech back really quick, but now he's D-mech'd again. Handifab did get ulted up to take out. Danklub here coming up
with the
huge.
Nano Blade.
That's a 3K. 3K from Danklub there, absolutely clutch, very much needed, and for finishing off Asura, that was clutch from Danklub. He absolutely needed that. Harmony and Chaos needed that. Gets a positive momentum going for them. I don't know how much of a reasonable contest we're going to be seeing from the side of Elusion here. Black 96 is in position to contest as well as the D.Va, but they don't have much with them, so they could stagger them out here pretty brutally. Oh, coming up from the top, actually. You see Velo get an early kill on a Danklub, and it looks like that's going to be enough to force Harmony and Chaos back. Maxix is in a rough spot, though. And
he's being forced back into the enemy spawn. Looks like that early pick from Velo, he just kind of snuck up behind the Genji and just took him out.
I liked what I saw from Elusion there, because they basically, what ended up happening is their tanks came out of the main doorway, and with pretty much with no warning, Asura, Velo, and Memorex all came out of the top all came out of the high ground, and there was just nowhere for Harmony to go. They got separated and just crushed. So I have to say that was a really, really convincing defense there from Elusion. They're getting together. They're getting their team play back a little bit, and it's ooh.
They're definitely. Here comes a huge D.Va bomb. Let's see if it gets anybody. No, it does not.
You see a D-mech, though, actually, from Garbaggio on the downward sweep. Maxix does pick up Asura. That is a big kill there. Sweet Tooth is dipping extremely low and does go down. 3 down for Elusion, and they're going to need a massive play here from Black 96 in order to, and he does not get it. Memorex is the last one on the cart, and it doesn't look like he can do it on his own.
Elusion is taking the good spawn and regrouping at the corner.
It's a good thing they got out of there quick, and it looks like they're going to be able to get reset here before Harmony can push up too quickly. Sweet Tooth actually does dip really low, an aggressive dive from Handifab. They do get Black 96. A little too high to get any value. But Velo does take down Dank. Dank right now is playing a really aggressive style, and I can't think.
We got a Boostio on the field.
Oh, Cavalier with the Boostio, maybe favoring the. Velo with a hit big ult there. Maxix though, ooh, I don't know if that's a good ult. I have to imagine he's switching.
I think he's switching here for the inside portion. It's going to be a little bit different. John W. Booth did a great job of defense matrixing Velo during that high noon so that he could go ahead and complete that. That was a critical piece.
It was great fight-changing play there from John W. Booth, freeing up. And right now, he is performing at a very high level. I don't want to say he's carrying the side of Elusion, but his play has been instrumental in their success right now.
It looks like Maxix did go ahead and change to the Sombra. He is flanking around the top high ground, trying to get a hack off on some supports. Once again, taken out with a right click from Velo.
But I did take out Sweet Tooth. You see Asura coming in on that ult, takes out both tanks, and Harmony and Chaos is going to have to reset.
Danklub and Velo having a 1v1 up on that island. Looks like Danklub's gonna... Yeah.
Dank's positioning has been really aggressive. I don't know if you're noticing this as well, but he's been in a lot of situations where it's kind of been feast or famine. And I have to wonder if maybe they need to play a slightly more conservative style to really get maximum value from his skill set.
Well, now that Maxix is on the Sombra, I feel like Danklub should back off of the high risk, high reward, because the Sombra is going to get those kinds of picks. The Sombra is going to get to the back line and do the distraction and cause disruption. So
you see the hack on the Sweet Tooth. We see high ground being taken from Harmony. I like that play, and a nice little kind of sneaky ult from the part from Dank, but doesn't get any value out of it other than maybe some zoning. High ground is controlled, but barriers down. Black 96 has a free shatter if they drop, but they don't.
I like the high ground positioning here, but ooh, shatter one, and a counter has been blocked.
Ooh, Elusion though. That's a huge pin on a Cavalier from Black 96, and just Elusion did a really good job there, despite the fact that there was a lot of ults on the side of Harmony. They didn't panic. Even when Harmony took high ground control, they didn't panic. They waited until some mistakes were being made. Harmony got split up. They had 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, and that hurt them. And as soon as they got split up like that, suddenly Elusion pounced, and there was nothing Harmony could do anymore.
Exactly, and Cavalier tried to pop that ult and ended up getting pinned right in the middle of it, and it didn't actually help his team. So it was a great hold from Elusion.
The Elusion had there was a lot of opportunities there for Harmony that Elusion shut down. So big credit to Elusion there for closing out some big kills. And like I said, I feel like a lot of their players, John W. Booth is stepping up in a big way tonight. He's doing a really good job on that off tank for that team. Black 96 as well, playing really well. We see a lot from Jewish Missile, obviously on the podcast, frequent contributor to the top plays of the week. But Black 96 right now is showing up in a pretty convincing performance on this map specifically. I really like what he's doing on the Winston. I'd like to see him continue to play the Winston as well, but right now I think we're just getting memed a little bit because he's on the Doomfist. Can't imagine he's going to stay on the Doomfist. I've been surprised before, but I can't imagine he's going to stay on the Doomfist.
I don't know. I think it'd be nice to see a change. Like maybe in Doomfist.
I see 4 DPS, 1 off tank, 1 support. I think that's the new meta potentially. So I'm gonna have to check with Jane, but I'm pretty sure that's not gonna be what we're gonna see. Harmony and Chaos is again going with that Torbjorn from Maxix. They're running a Torbjorn and a Mei, which I'm pretty sure is illegal in multiple states. Because that is just annoying.
It is very, very annoying. Now, one thing I think Elusion is doing, and what's letting them win here is they're adapting very quickly to what Harmony is doing. Harmony came out super strong on that first point and pushed them back under the bridge, and then came out again 2 or 3 pushes later to complete.
Andy Fat was an interesting choice here. He tried to drop down from in front, and I think it caused maybe a poor choice, but it looks like it's not going to matter.
Maxix is still up on that high ground, taking people out with that turret.
And there was actually a really high value wall from Danklub as well, separating the side of Elusion. They really had no opportunity to fully save or fully peel for their teammates, and they got kind of beaten up by it. Maxix is already 72% to Molt Core. Top that off with the fact that John W. Booth right now is kind of staggered away from his team. If he gets spotted out, he could be in big trouble. Okay, the team does reconnect with him. I was a little surprised to not see Harmony try to rotate around a little bit more, and I think Maxix almost paid the price of that.
Yeah, looks like Maxix is fully committed to that top.
Oh, Maxix got a massive kill on DeBello. That was huge. Harmony right now is just sweeping through the side of Elusion. No ults being burnt by them. They now have 5 for the next fight. Elusion has several coming up, but none online quite yet. The Ana ult will be online. And the Shatter will be relevant in the next match, or the next bit here, no doubt. But there's so much value right now coming from the side of Harmony and every ability they're using, and they have 5 ults for the next point here. Really slow ult charge, by the way, coming here from Velo, it looks like. And Molt Core from Maxix, and they're just going to shut down Black 96 immediately. That was a big pick on the Cav. Doesn't look like it's going to matter. Maxix's Torbjorn is just you're getting high value from every play for Maxix right now. It looks like it's paying off in a big way for them. I have to point out really quick, I don't know if you saw it, NPC. Did you see the 1v1 Torbjorn versus Pharah? Where
I did. That Pharah was trying to take that high ground, and Maxix wasn't having it.
That was impressive. Good aim.
Maxix is holding that high ground all by himself. Oh, huge shatter.
Handy Fab. Oh my goodness.
Handicap dips low, but he gets healed up.
Those are really...
is flanked around behind them. And they're pushing them back into spawn.
Asura did a good job closing in on Handicap, but Handicap did an even better job of getting defensive when he needed to.
Absolutely.
Good job. Good job, Handicap. What are you seeing right now, NPC, when you look at where these teams are at?
Well, it looks like Elusion is they've committed to their comp long enough to actually build up 4 or 5 ultimates, and they're going to use them all right here. They're going to dump them all in this one last desperation push, which is the right thing to do. If you switched, you wouldn't have ultimates.
You see a big kill coming in from Cab on their Asura, but it doesn't matter. The ult pouring in from the side of Elusion.
And it looks like Maxix was slept that entire time during that fight, which gives them a huge advantage.
Mac 96, the big charge on the Danklubb, and then a Shatter there to secure it. That's going to lock it down for sure. I don't know if that necessarily was a needed Shatter, but at the same time, you can't argue with the fact that they needed to make sure they secured that one. So.
Danklubb has switched over to the McCree to contest Velo on the Pharah, but it looks like Asura managed to push them back with that Death Blossom.
That was a ballsy, a very ballsy defense attempt from the side of Harmony. They only had 4 people, and they got that grab, but it just didn't matter. Asura just shut them all down. The second they got in there, Asura said, no, I'm done. I don't want to play this. So Asura switches off that Death Blossom, or off that Reaper over to Genji, and I think that's a good move here to get that high ground control.
Yeah, once they built and spent those ultimates, I fully expected Elusion to make some switches here. Velo is still doing work on the Pharah, but now that Danklubb is on the McCree and they still have the Torbjorn, I think the Pharah needs to make a switch.
I would tend to agree. I think the Pharah is maybe hurting them a little bit here. I don't think they're getting the best value from it. I think Maxix right now is doing a really good job at maximizing his ults. As we say that, he gets another ult moment 4 and doesn't connect and then dies to Asura. So really nothing I say is relevant.
I think he was just trying to zone them, possibly even to make a switch, but looks like Handicap is kind of by himself.
Took a nap. He managed to get out. I'm a little surprised that Elusion is there. Handicap taking a handy nap.
Elusion again with 3 ultimates and Harmony with 3 ultimates coming on 5 each.
High noon from Danklubb connects with 1, but he gets slept right after he gets Velo. It doesn't matter though. Elusion is gonna get taken out here by Harmony and Chaos.
Maxix did go ahead and switch to the Reaper, which is probably a good call considering that Black 96 is on the Winston.
I would agree with that as well. I think that's the right change. We see 4 ultimates though on the side of Elusion. You got to figure they have a significant advantage here going into this, but Cab does have that sound barrier. Depending on the situation, if he gets good value from that, they could hold here.
I think Cav is going to have to use that sound barrier to keep the Pharah alive during her next ultimate.
Watching Asura closely on that Nano Blade, they do get the sound barrier off on the whole team. It doesn't look like the ulted or the Nano Blade is going to connect with anything. And actually, Maxix and Dank take out a couple on the side of Elusion. So really good play there from really the entirety of Harmony and Chaos on that one.
Right now, they're going ahead and res Velo on the Pharah.
Aggressive res there. Maxix has the ult here. John W. Booth has ult. Maxix's ult is going to be really crucial here, I think, to closing out the point and see if he can pull it off. Ooh, actually, Elusion right now with 2 big kills. Both supports down for Harmony and Chaos. If Elusion can close in on this one really quick here, Harmony and Chaos won't have any way to stop them, won't have any way to heal up from this damage.
They're doing a nice job of regrouping and contesting at the very last second.
Handicap did a great job taking out the support here from the side of Harmony, or from the side of Elusion. A couple of really nice kills there. Harmony.
Yeah, it looks like Harmony just had too many ultimates. John W. Booth tried to eat that Death Blossom, but then he didn't have any defense matrix left for the High Noon.
Wow, Elusion had a big opportunity there with both supports down on the side of Harmony and Chaos. You gotta wonder if there's just a giant missed opportunity there, but Harmony takes a 2-1 lead in the series. Very big win, and it puts all the pressure on Elusion now. They gotta win 2 maps in a row to take the series.
Absolutely, but these are both control maps. Now we're going to see control maps back to back here. If Harmony can manage to pull off the first one, we're going to see a second.
If Elusion can pull it off,
Yes.
Yes, no, it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna be seeing Jewish Missile coming back in here. We have an MVP card, by the way. Shadowfear spent almost 69% of the match on fire.
Heyo.
Can we get some nices in chat for that, please? 69%. Nice, guys, nice. Shadowfear was huge that match. I would definitely say. They all looked really good. It was a really, really good performance from the side of Harmony trying to get that all together. How do you feel like what do you see in there? How did Harmony and Chaos just win that one as convincingly as they did?
I feel like it was just better ultimate management. Like I said, that they always had 2 or 3 or 4, sometimes even to spend on a single engagement. And even though John W. Booth was doing his best to defense matrix some of them, but he would defense matrix one, and there would be another right behind it to follow up.
I would agree with that. I think it was interesting to see how well, also from Harmony, their supports were playing. I really liked seeing Shadow. I feel like he was in control a lot of the match with his sleeps were on point. Asura at one point had that nano blade, and I thought for sure, you know what? There's no way Harmony can get away from this. They have 1 ult. Elusion has 5. How could they possibly lose this fight? And then the 1 ult they had was Sound Barrier, and they got absolutely maximum value from it. And that was everything. That won them that fight, without a question. They needed that to be perfect, and it was perfect. So
the timing was just excellent from all that.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of fun to see that. This match is so good. I'm so impressed with both of these teams. I'm really, really excited to see what these guys are bringing here. 2 control maps in a row. We both think we're going to be. Lijiang Tower. Now, Lijiang is my favorite map. I don't know how you feel about Lijiang, but I love this one. I love the fact that all 3 points of Lijiang Tower are so unique and different. There's really different ways you can approach every single one and how they're fought. How do you feel about Lijiang?
I'm not a fan of control maps in general. That's just not my thing. But Lijiang is pretty good. I like, just like you said, there's different ways, and they're not symmetrical like some of the other maps. Sure. There's definitely a left side and a right side, and one of those sides is definitely more shallow than the other. So I feel like Lijiang is a good map, whereas like Ilios is always typically very straight and symmetrical.
I think one of my favorite maps to play on this is Control Center, and part of that is because I love Mei, and that's like the one time we get to see Mei, it seems like, other than Nepal Village. Although I guess we did see Mei on Dorado, so I can't entirely say that. But I love Lijiang Control Center for the Mei. It's always fun playing this match as well when you're on ladder, because you get to watch everybody go over the bridge, and then your friendly Pharah player.
Oh yeah,
every time without fail. That's my highest Reddit post, by the way. I had a 4-person boop on that one. Nice. That was my highest Reddit. Yeah, nice. I know, right?
So obviously not the market, but the other 2 are very good for Hammond. I feel like Wrecking Ball is going to be a big influence there. Now you can play him here on this map, but on the other 2, the Garden and the Control Center, you just attach that pillar in the center and spin it to win it. I feel like that's kind of the easy way out.
Garbaggio has shown a penchant to go for that Hammond. I would not be stunned to see it again. Handyfat, by the way, usually an off tank for that team, doing really well on that main tank. And I know we said earlier, like, hey, do not underestimate his main tank, and he's showing up right now in a pretty impressive way. Let's see what these teams are bringing out. We see 4 support right now from Harmony and Chaos.
I don't see it. But maybe Maxix on that DPS.
We get Spanish Inquisition love. I think this is the map to bring it out. Wouldn't you say?
I think the game's on the line. I don't think so. I wouldn't do it. But Maxix could go to the DPS Baptiste. You never know.
Somewhere Cryptic Force involuntarily just shed a tear of joy, and I can't explain why. He is a support god. So.
He's a support god. Looks like they're going to meet here in front of the Lions, and Maxix is on his trademark Sombra, making some hacks.
And looks like Elusion going with the Sombra Goats here. They do have 2 fall here, and Handicap gets aggressive on the charge. Race FPV's down, and Danklub as well. You see Sombras from both sides. Maxis wins the Sombra duel. That's a really big kill. Should turn this fight in the favor. Ooh, actually, that's a huge pick.
These teams are so 1v1 right now. Every time one gets a kill, another gets the exact same kill on the other side. But I think it's actually going to go in Harmony's favor.
Elusion had an opportunity there, but they couldn't quite close out, and Harmony was able to finish off a couple of kills. Handifap came up big with a kill on a Nixall, and that kind of secured that one. Handifap, actually, if you notice, he's got an ult already. And if you're looking at the EMP battle, which is going to be a crucial part of this match, Maxix almost at an EMP right. Well, he's got it right now. And Lemon Ghoul, 37%.
Yeah, they can come out here and EMP Shatter right here.
There it is. Shatter
was not in place.
There it is. Handifap, he actually does look like he was hacked right before that, and then just a convincing win there from Harmony and Chaos on that fight. Perfectly executed, basically to the best of their ability as he was hacked. Maxix got absolute max value there. I'm not going to say the joke again.
Looks like the next ultimates to come online is going to be a grab and a pulse bomb, which is an interesting combo.
Now Danklub could come up big here with that grab pulse bomb. There's the grab. Let's see if the pulse bomb comes in. Danklub was not quite ready with the pulse, but there it is. It takes down 2. That's going to end that fight right there.
They did have to commit a nano to that fight, and they do have a Mei on the side of Elusion, who is trying to separate Harmony from the Chaos and kill off some players.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry.
No, that was a good one. I would say that was almost as good as Maxix value. I have to say. Harmony right now is just convincingly winning every single one of these team fights. We're not seeing really any good ults coming online for any ults really doing any impact for Elusion. They do have a sound barrier coming, and they're about to get another Blizzard. That could be pretty crucial. Black Ninja actually got a big kill on a Danklub. They got to close out on this right now. See a Shatter not really connect with anything. Garbaggio takes up Black Ninja. Memorex goes down to Maxix. Missile wins the tank war, but I don't know if they have enough to be able to win this fight.
They might not even be able to touch it, and they do not.
Oh, man. Wasted opportunity there from Elusion. They are 1 point away from dropping this match. This C9, letter numbers in chat, folks. Oh, man, that's a tough one for Elusion to take. You gotta hope they can recover mentally. That's a brutal one. And, you know, that fight was winnable. It was tough, but it was winnable, and it just... They couldn't
coordinate their ultimates. They couldn't coordinate. Now we do see the completely different Elusion team again. They pulled out 3 swaps for this match, so we're seeing a different Elusion team than we saw for their previous 2.
Exactly, and I don't. You have to wonder if maybe that. It seems like Jewish Missile on that tank. He's doing a pretty good job of winning these shatter battles against Handifap. We're seeing both teams now run the Winston. It looks like we're seeing kind of a dive with the Pharah Sombra on the side of Elusion. And we see, again, the Hammond Winston. Oh, Shadow. You took the bridge. Never take the bridge, Shadow. Oh, no.
It's like Garbaggio on the Hammond trying to get back to point. We do have another Baptiste. Maxix on the Baptiste.
Maxix on the Baptiste. They're running 4 supports. They are running 4 supports. They're running 4 support dive. I have questions, and hopefully they'll answer them some point in this match here. We're seeing a lot of pressure coming from that Black Ninja on that far. Not able to get any picks off it, but the fight was over. They were resetting. Lemon Ghoul is on the Sombra right now, trying to get into the back line of Harmony, and we're watching him currently on the Zarya, putting some pressure on them, trying to farm up that EMP. Still got a little bit to go here. Oh, and Black Ninja again!
Looks like Maxix has gone back to the Sombra, but Black Ninja managed to get the better of him with that concussion blast.
Oh man, did he not have the translocator in place? I didn't see exactly.
He had already used it to get to the health pack closest to him.
No.
The Pharah was already there.
Good play from Black Ninja then securing that kill, and Danklub goes down as well. Elusion doing a really good job right now, keeping tons of pressure and controlling the pace of play. But Jewish Missile goes down, and there was a massive nade from Shadowfear there, putting several of them purple on the side of Elusion, and it's looking like Elusion might be in a situation here where they're gonna Black Ninja with a really aggressive ult there. I don't know if that was best idea. He might be changing. He did get Garbaggio, and it looks like they're actually going to be able to maybe recontest this point. They are.
They are recontesting. Jewish Missile came in with a huge play there that will allow them to recontest.
Jewish Missile did a great job there. He's normally well known for his his Reinhardt play, but his Winston is on point right now, making some really good decisions. And he has that primal. We see 3 ults on the side of Elusion. We see 3 ults on the side of Harmony and Chaos. I like the ult setup currently of Elusion a little bit better, a little bit more sustained from them. EMPs from both sides. It's going to be an EMP battle. Who gets more value out of theirs? Let it go first, and he gives a massive EMP. We'll see the bomb.
And the bomb is gone. It's on the wrong side of the wall, but it did manage to get Shadow Fear.
Maxix does EMP4 from Elusion, but it's just not going to be enough.
There's no follow-up on that. I feel like when Danklub switched over to McCree, I thought that Black Ninja was going to switch off the Pharah, but Black Ninja survived, and then Danklub switched to the Reaper.
Lemon Ghoul did an amazing job on that Sombra, keeping a ton of pressure onto the back line of Harmony and Chaos. They just weren't able to really get anything going. Black Ninja on that Pharah was incredible as well. Right now, it's just the scraps of Harmony and Chaos coming in, and Elusion trying to just finish this one off, wrap up that overtime clock here. And there it goes.
There it goes.
Yeah. So right now we're basically seeing, we saw 100-0 Harmony on first one, and then 100-0 for Elusion on the second one.
Absolutely, this has been back and forth and back and forth. I'm really excited, and you know, honestly, I want to see Elusion win because I want to see the map 5.
I do too. I would love to see a map 5 here.
I want to see the map 5.
It seems to have been extremely entertaining. So I would love to see another. I would love to see map 5 here. Harmony is up 2-1 as we've talked about already, and Elusion right now trying to bring it to that map 5, and we are on control center. So we'll see if anybody. We'll see if.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 3. Capture the objective.
So it looks like they're gonna battle it out on high ground here.
Oh, and Shadowfear gets a big kill in Lemon Gold. That took out so big purple.
Oh,
And,
this is gonna give Harmony a huge advantage if they can remember to capture the point instead of pushing up. I think Race is coming back to do just that.
And they're continuing to apply a ton of pressure. Really, they need to reset on the side of Elusion. They finally do. Maybe a little later than they needed to there. Kind of fed some extra ult charge from Handicap. Got a shatter. He's got a shatter already, guys. The point was just capped, and we already are seeing shatter online.
I mean, everybody else has 50%. So.
Oh, Nick, no. Nick was just about to remech, but there was a big snipe.
Here comes that Mate Wall that's going to separate them.
He does get res. The Maywall was not quite as good as it needed to be, though. It didn't close out the side and completely separate Handy. But it doesn't matter. Lemon Ghoul goes down. The Black Ninja did take out Race.
Fire at will.
There's Graviton. High Noon comes in as well. Doesn't get any value from that one, and it looks like Harmony takes this one as well. But they got 3 separated out. If they can close out on them,
Maxix with the boop.
Maxix is moved off. We'll see if Jewish Mitchell comes in on the aggressive play.
Oh, his own May. Oh, you hate to see it, chat.
No, the betrayal, the absolute betrayal.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Oh no, but Danklub does get some value from that Blizzard. Handicap is trying to stay alive back. He's got no chance staying alive, unfortunately.
And he tried to get frozen on a health back, but he could only get it once.
Garbaggio right now is trying to close out some kills. He's got a lot of energy, so he could do it. He's trying to get down Lemon Ghoul, and he does. That's a huge pick for Garbaggio, and that's going to cause the Elusion to be in pretty much one fight territory.
Oh, absolutely. Elusion really needs to regroup right here, and they need to build their ultimates, and they need to go in and use them because they have 15% left.
Harmony and Chaos is not relenting the pressure. Maxix is all the way back in respawn. Harmony and Chaos is doing a great job of dictating the pace, and they read that like a book. They read the chain. Oh, big shatter, big shatter! 3 go down for Harmony. They gotta get
Nick Saul is coming back to contest the point.
Nick needed to get that point, and he knew it, and his team was taking care of business up there, and he's getting the back cap, and he does. Big crucial play there.
Shadowfear has been split from his team. This is their opportunity to capitalize on that and get some staggers. Supports. There they are.
Danklub is all alone as well. He's got no cooldowns. So guys, Maxix with a really aggressive ult.
Hopefully it was enough. It did get 2 and a DMAC.
I don't think they saw. Oh, Jewish missile with a massive charge. We see an ult come in from.
Oh, Handicap with the desperation shatter.
Oh, you hate to
Not
see
get
it.
anybody.
You hate to see it, folks. I don't know if that was the right idea there. Put them in a situation now where they got to charge up another shatter real quick. They have a May ult, and they're going to get a nano. Nixall has the Diva Bomb, and we see Jewish Mission is very close to a shatter as well. They got to get some value out of that shatter here in order to be able to hold that point.
They just need one fight. Harmony needs one fight here to close this out.
Maxix right now is trying to get to the point on his own. He barely squeaks through. Oh,
Diva's eating the blizzard.
play of the match.
Diva Bomb that gets 2 from Nick.
Nixall comes up huge. He's basically trying to carry Elusion through this fight. He's the only one getting anything done on their side right now. And they're just falling one by one. Nixall coming up clutch, could not do it. They're going to need to get here really quick. Let's see if anybody can even contest. I don't think they can. Oh, remember,
Moira faded onto the point at the very last second.
Jewish Missile got a big shatter. It's just not going to be enough, though.
It's not going to be enough. They're going to end up holding them.
Harmony and Chaos here. Oh, Black Ninja tries the Desperation EMP. It's just not enough. Nixall's getting there. There's just the stagger is insane right now. Nixall did get Dang Club, so they're not necessarily out of it, but they're pretty much
out of it. Yeah.
Jewish Missile is at the point now. He's on that. He's spinning to win. Let's see if he can get anything. Oh, there's just so many ults.
Oh, beautiful pin from Handicap to end that spin it to win it.
There it is, folks. That is all she wrote. Harmony and Chaos with a very strong 3-1 win over Elusion, guys. What a fun match to watch.
That was an incredible match. And oh, the hack.
Oh, the hack.
Jeff 8. That's one of my favorite highlight intros.
You hate to see it, folks. You hate to see it.
And the thing is, it really was Handicap's play. Handicap's play. Handicap.
Handicap's play. Oh my god. Oh, that was so good. Oh man, what a great match, really.
That was.
It was a lot of fun. Both teams played great, and when you're seeing who stepped up the most on the Harmony and Chaos side, what do you think? What do you think is who's your MVP for the match as a whole?
Handicap. I feel like he filled up the main tank role really well. I was expecting to see Steve up there, and Handicap took that role and he made it his own. They played really well. They played around him. Obviously, we saw Maxix there with that EMP, but the shatter and the follow up was just great.
Can we give some credit as well to Shadowfear? Shadowfear had so many very impressive grenades from that Ana and was instrumental in a lot of matches. That initial fight, I look back on Control Center. There was one where they got 5 on the nade, and it was just over.
Yeah, at the very beginning, he opened that encounter with a grenade kill.